Something I get asked quite often is how do I get better at mining? And I used to be able to make like 25 to 24 mil an hour with like a gemstone gauntlet. And in the span of like 4 to 5 days, I was able to increase that to like 32 mil. And as you can see in my previous videos I posted on this channel, both of which are 30-minute tests, I've been able to make a decent amount of money per hour with both a gemstone gauntlet and X655, amounts that are definitely above average compared to a lot of people. And I'm going to share two, I guess, tips of advice that I used that helped me get to those rates. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. But before we actually begin any of the mining advice, I want to talk about the two most common questions that I always see, and that's what is the best gemstone to mine and how do you get good routes. Best gemstone to mine is entirely based on the bazaar. And there are only actually 4 gemstones you should mine, I should say that, and that's amethyst, sapphire, jade, and amber. Those are like the magma field gemstones. Ruby and jasper. Ruby does not sell for a lot because it's like tied to NPC prices. Jasper is only in grottos, and that's a whole another topic. And topaz takes longer to break than other gemstones, and unless the prices are good, it's not really worth to mine. It sometimes can be, but like at the moment it's like the same price as like all the other gemstones, and it takes longer to break, so you're just making less money. So that leaves you with amethyst, sapphire, amber, and jade. You'd think it's one of those 4, but no, there's actually more. You should not mine amethyst probably, because every time you break an amethyst ore, they have a chance to spawn fists. And fists are so annoying because they can mess your breaking animation. They can reset, you know, when you break a block. If they fall into your cursor, the block, they can just reset it. So that can lower your profits by a ton if you're not used to it. So I would just avoid amethyst if you're not, you know, completely used to it. So that leaves sapphire, amber, and jade. And honestly, just do whichever price is higher. You're going to want to mainly be looking at the flawless and fine prices. As you can see, I think all of these are pretty similar. Yeah, they're like 2 mil flawless, 25k fine. I guess amber is the highest at the moment by like a little bit. So yeah, let's say, so we would mine amber. That would be the best gemstone to mine. So yeah, that should answer your question. It's literally just based on bazaar prices. Another question that I get asked a ton is how do you get a good route? Like how do you find good routes? And the answer to this question is really simple. Join either the Mining Cult Discord server or this other Discord server that I'll link in called Miners Heaven. Both of these servers have a channel where you can get free routes. In Mining Cult, it's Route Training 2, for example. And as you can see, they have tags for each gemstone. So let's say we wanted to mine jade. So I'll click on jade, and here are the jade routes. They filtered it. So for example, this one seems pretty good, 45 mil an hour. If you scroll up through the thread, you'll find someone posting a drop bot or a paste bin link. So basically what you want to do once you find the paste bin link, or maybe someone will just post the route in one of the messages, just click the link and copy the route. So for example, this guy just posted it in a message, so you can just copy the route, copy it to your clipboard, and there you go. You have a good route. All these routes are pretty good. Some are obviously more popular than others. You can check. Usually the more messages they have or the more reactions they have, the better they are. And yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, so I quickly set up like a small little route here, just a few veins, just to explain the concepts that I want to talk about. So the first concept is called ping gliding. So as you'll see, all the good gemstone miners, what they'll do is before the block they're mining breaks, they'll switch early to another gemstone block. And what this does is if they time it right, as they switch, the one that they were mining previously will break and they'll get a head start on the new block. So as you can see, if you look a little bit here, you can see that I'm doing it. But before even the block I'm mining breaks, I'm already just moving my cursor to the new block. And this really helps me mine more blocks in 1 hour, raising my rates. And the timing is going to differ for everyone. So for some people, this could be like you only move it like a half a second early. For other people, it could be like a full second earlier. It just depends on how high your ping is. So just get used to moving your cursor away before the block even breaks. So as you can see here, I'm doing it too early. This one I'm doing it too late. But if you find like the right sweet spot, you can like do it. You can get a really nice combo going. The next concept I'm going to talk about real quickly is Etherwarps. So typically something I see a lot of people doing wrong is they'll mine a full vein and, you know, let's say they start here. They'll mine, come down here, mine, and then they'll end with like, let's say this vein. Then they pull out their Aspects of the Void to Etherwarp. They have to drag their mouse all the way. They're probably not going to get it exactly onto this block the first try, right? They might overshoot it, they might undershoot it, then they adjust, and then they Etherwarp. So even though that probably takes like less than a second, right? I'm obviously over exaggerating this. You know, if I'm here, like boom, I can hit it pretty fast and get my cursor on the block. It is a lot of wasted time, and it's a lot of downtime that can really affect your rates if you take a long time to Etherwarp before or between veins. You want to always be like mining a block at every possible second. So the faster you can Etherwarp between veins, the better. So something you should do is you should think about the next block you're going to break. So for example, let's say I start with this one. I'm going to mine this one, and then I'm thinking, okay, the next block should be this one, then this one, and so on. You want to always keep in mind the next block. You never want to be like caught off guard and not know what to do. The second thing you should know is that you should leave the final block that you leave in a vein should be pointing in the direction of the next Etherwarp block. So for example, in this vein in particular, I'm going to want to leave this block for last, so that way I can pre-aim my cursor onto the cobblestone. So when I break it, all I have to do is just switch to my Aspect of the Void and right click. So that really makes the Etherwarp super fast, and not all routes will have this. Some routes will, as you can see in like this vein, you really can't Etherwarp to the next block no matter how hard you try. So that's why you can use Cobblestone to actually extend the platforms to something like this. So that way, as you're mining, you can move a little bit, and then as you can see now, I extend the platform a little bit, and now I can see the next block through the vein. I'll mine it, and I'll be able to instantly warp to the next one. So if we put this together, basically, let's say I Etherwarped onto this block. I have in mind that, okay, I'm going to use this block to, you know, as my next Etherwarp, so I'm going to leave this for last. I'm going to start here. I'm going to pin glide so I can get the most efficiency. I'm going to purposely skip that block. Just keep in mind, I'm just going to have it in my mind that what block I'm going to attack next. Right? And then finally, I end on the blast block. I'm going to move my cursor, pre-aim it. Boom. I'm already on the next one. Let's do that again. One more vein here. I'm probably going to leave this one for last, so I'm going to mine this one instead. And as you can see, pretty decent. Like, I'm just going to keep mining, come back down, and then let's say I mine all that. I have it to this vein. Boom. So that's like the main ways, pin gliding and having fast Etherwarps. Definitely experiment with Cobblestone and like make your platforms bigger, make it so that you can move around the veins easier. So like for example, in this vein, there's no way I could pre-aim the Etherwarp if I just was on a single block of cobble, but I extended the platform like I showed in that example, and now I break this block. Boom, I can. And yeah, that's like the main tips I have basically. Just pin gliding and Etherwarps. They seem super insignificant, super small, but like every good miner does this and does it like super well, and they can get like insane rates. If you want to see a good example of like decent gemstone mining, then I have 2 videos posted on my channel of me doing 30-minute tests. You can just watch it. You'll see my like mining speed boost. You'll see like my pin gliding. You can use that. You know, I also put my stats, the route I use. So yeah, if you just need a reference, then it's pretty good.